Welcome back to my views and news. First news story is from Tigray Eritrea border, where Tigray news sources are claiming that Eritrean forces are trying to take control of capital of Avoreda, main city of Avoreda on Tigray Eritrea border. Secondly, Meaza Mohammed, the Ethiopian journalist, has received International Women of Courage Award in the US. She was seen with US Secretary of State Antony Blinken and US First Lady Jill Biden, and there she raised the issue of killings of Amhara people in Oromia and BG, and she displayed a poster for the release of Thaddeus Tanto, Ethiopian historian. And thirdly, viewers, Addis Ababa, where we know that yesterday government confirmed the arrest of more than 800 people in connection with unrest which happened on Adwa victory on the 2nd of March. Arrests are ongoing. We have received a video from a school in Addis Ababa where police tried to arrest students yesterday, reportedly. First, viewers, Tigray Eritrea or Ethiopia Eritrea border demarcation is an issue unresolved for decades. And one of the sources of conflict between Tigray region and Eritrea is this lack of proper border demarcation. Now, when Eritrean military has largely withdrawn from Tigray's main cities and towns, it has not withdrawn to pre-war border position. Rather, it seems Eritrea is trying to enforce the decision of a boundary commission, which around 2 decades ago passed a decision about Ethiopia, Eritrea, Tigray, Eritrea border. That decision was rejected by Ethiopian government. It could not be imposed. Badme, I think, was granted to Eritrea in that decision and some other areas too. Now, Eritrea is unilaterally implementing the decision by deploying its troops by withdrawing its troops up to the areas which were given to Eritrea by that boundary commission, though some of these areas were part of Tigray before the start of this war. Because Tigray, Ethiopia remained in control of some areas in violation of that boundary commission decision around 2 decades ago, reportedly. Yesterday, Tigray's DWTV, through a report, claimed that Eritrean military was trying to take control of capital of Irob. Irob, is right on Tigray Eritrea border. And Doham is capital city of Irob. And Tigray's DWTV claims that nearby main towns like Elitina, Viratale, Endalje, Agrolokoma, they're already under the control of Eritrean military. Now, Eritrean military is trying to take control of Dohan, which is main city of Irob Wareda. I think Eritrean military is cutting off all links to Dohan because it has taken control of some areas to the west of Dohan. And if you remember, a few days ago, Professor Kendea said that Eritrean military fired at a convoy of 8 trucks which was on its way from Adagrat to Irob. Why? Because Eritrean military did not allow them to enter the area for humanitarian operations. But some Eritrean government-backed activists claim that Eritrean military was in its area and aid convoy tried to enter Eritrean territory. So that was also a dispute because of lack of border demarcation. Same is being seen here. How can there be lasting peace between Tigray and Eritrea if there is no agreement on border demarcation? At least some verbal understanding if there is no written agreement possible. So these conflicts will continue, and these conflicts can turn into a large escalation if there is no solution. So the two sides will have to sit. Ethiopian government will have to play a role here. ENDF should take control of all border areas. But problem is that then ENDF will have to accept the deployment of Eritrean military. It will have to accept that decision of Boundary Commission. If it happens, what will be Tigray's reaction? Several issues so far. But in border areas, tensions remain between Tigray fighters and Eritrean military. Secondly, was Meaza Mohammed, Ethiopian journalist, has received International Women of Courage award 2 days ago. Her name was announced. She is one of, I think, 11 women who have been chosen from across the world for their work for a brighter future for the world. And she has been in prison, I think, thrice in the last 2 years or so. Critical of Ethiopian federal government, critical of Oromia regional government, though she has been mainly covering issues of ethnic Amhara group. And in Washington, where she was honored with the award, she raised the issue of killing of Amharas. She said in her speech there that her brothers and sisters, Amhara brothers and sisters, were being massacred in Oromia and Benishangul Gumuz region of Ethiopia. OPDO, Oromia's ruling party, and PM Abiy were behind these massacres, and she asked the world leaders to stand with Amhara people, not with OPDO and PM Abiy. So it cannot be clearer than that she is speaking for the Amhara ethnic group members. And there she displayed a poster for the release of Thaddeus Tanto, Ethiopian historian who was arrested last year, an old man, I think above 70, in prison. There are thousands of other prisoners in Ethiopia. Why is Meaza only highlighting the issue of the arrest of Thaddeus Tanto? Tigray's Dorius Gedam of Asimba Democratic Party was arrested more than a year ago. Where is he? What are the charges against him? Tigrayans are still in prisons in Ethiopia. Some former members of Ethiopian National Defense Force, Tigrayans speaking, still in prisons. So again, Meaza, I have been saying, neglected issues of other ethnic groups. She mainly worked for protection of the issues of the interests of ethnic Amharas. Is it because of lack of sources or lack of interest? Whatever the case is. But while in Washington, she should have called for the release of all prisoners, Tigrayans, Oromos, Amharas, Gurages, etc. If she can display a poster for the release of Thaddeus Tanto, she can display posters for the release of other prisoners too who are from other ethnicities. Thaddeus Tanto is not an Amhara, but he has huge following in the Amhara region of Ethiopia. Lastly, was Addis Ababa, where yesterday security forces confirmed the arrest of more than 800 people who were arrested after Adwa Victory Day unrest in the capital city when security forces and participants of the celebration clashed at Menelik Square. Security forces opened fire, fired tear gas. St. George Church Orthodox followers were affected too. Government has confirmed the arrest of hundreds of people. Arrests are ongoing. A video is being shared from a school in Addis Ababa where reportedly security forces or Addis Ababa police and federal forces stormed the school and they tried to arrest some students of the school. Name of the school is Shiromada and Toto Emba Secondary School, Addis Ababa, and here there was confrontation between students and security forces. Police tried to arrest them. How many were arrested? Some were arrested reportedly. So the arrests are ongoing. Police is collecting information about who were involved in unrest at Minlik Square, and whoever is being identified is being arrested. And most of the people arrested are not from Addis Ababa, as was told by government yesterday. They are from outside Addis Ababa. Means they could be mainly from the Amhara region of Ethiopia. Arrests ongoing. Watch the video from this school. Thank you for watching.